Alright guys, so welcome to today's video, and in today's video we will work on this JOJO game right here. And I'm sorry I have to whisper because it is midnight. I'm recording this video at midnight, and I have school tomorrow, so in a few hours. But yeah, the boss is straight hostile, you know? Okay, so in this episode we will deal with the damage dealing part of our combat mainly. And yeah, and after that we will work on the stand barrage, and then I will end the video. And in the next episodes we might really start to either work on a working stand system with arrows, stand storages whatsoever, or we start the work on an actual stand. So for example, the world or star platinum, so that we actually get into designing the stand, welding the stand parts onto our stand template, and making the moves which belong to the stand. Okay, so we really stop creating some general moves such as the basic combats or a stand punch barrage, but we really get into creating a time stop, or other stuff. Okay. With that being said, let's move on with the damage dealing part. And this one is actually, well, inspired by the damage dealing part of my combat from the One Piece game. You guys should or could maybe know about when you watch the One Piece series as well. And yeah, so let's get started with that. So first of all, I'm gonna create, so we're going to use raycast. Okay, raycast params new. Okay, so I'm gonna explain to you what I'm doing right here in a bit, so not worry. So parameters, filter, descendants, instances, character. Wait, what was the character? Yeah, okay. Was stand and our character. Okay. Now we can actually create our array right here. So workspace, raycast. Well, let's actually go from our character. So character, humanoid root part, position, and then the same thing multiplied with a certain C-frame. No, okay, so if this thing works, then I'm gonna explain to you what I've just done. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah, it did work out as expected. I just need to increase the range, but let me explain to you what I've just done. So we have created this empty variable. Well, not empty, but it carries this raycast params new. As far as I have understood it, this is basically just some kind of template. Okay, so an empty template which is supposed to store the parameters, means the settings of our raycast, or of our ray in this case. And we are basically filling this template of settings or parameters with information in these two lines. So the first line right here determines the filter type. So in this case, we are blacklisting the stuff which are added inside of this filter down here. But let me explain to you how this blacklist works. So array basically can be intersected, okay? Means something crosses the array or intersects the array. If that happens, then it is being printed out down here, okay? Unless it has been blacklisted, okay? And the instances we blacklist are put inside of this table. And we currently only have the stand and the character, means the stand and all of its instances. So our stand is unable to intersect the array, means to hit the array, and our character means our character and stand are not even being noticed or recognized when someone hits the array, and you can count this intersection of array or the hit of array as hit means you're supposed to deal damage to him, okay? So that's basically what this intersection of the array stands for. And yeah, so that this one sets the filter type. In this case, a blacklist. We also have a whitelist, which allows you to whitelist the stuff, which is only able to be recognized when it intersects the array. And down here you can define or you can add those instances which are supposed to be, yeah, blacklist or whitelisted. Okay, down here we are creating the array. So workspace, arraycast, arraycast. And in those brackets, we just add some parameters. So the first one is the starting point, let's say, which is our character's humanoid root port's position. And the second one is the ending point, let's say, okay? In this case, this is our root port. And the direction it is looking into multiplied by 10. So this 10 right here determines your range. So you can either decrease it or you can increase it, okay? It is up to you. And we will probably later on, when we have a more complex stand system, so we will probably add some stand stats like range, damage, etc. and can put the range as a stat within this code. So that's actually possible, but that's not a topic, okay? So if you want to change the range, then consider changing this number right here. And the third argument are those parameters, aka the settings of this array. Okay, so our starting point, the ending point, and everything in between. Starting at the ending point, which just intersects. Okay, basically this is being recognized down here. So if something intersects the array, then it is being, or at least the name is being printed out. So the name of the instance which has intersected or hit the array is being printed out down here. Okay. So, what happens now is that array.instance represents the instance which has hit the array or intersected the array, and its parent is basically the character model. If you assume that a character, let's say a player or an NPC, has hit your array, it can also happen that a random part flies through your area and touches the array for, I don't know, any unknown reason, and that part will also count as intersected, okay? Therefore, we need to perform a little check, which guarantees us that the instance is, first of all, inside of a character model. It has a humanoid, so both conditions, of course, are connected to each other. So if your character model contains a humanoid, then it is a character model, okay? So basically, we just need to check whether hit object find first child humanoid. Because if that's the case, then we are, first of all, aware that this is a character model. Doesn't matter if NPC or actual player character. And the second thing is that we are sure that there is a humanoid on which we can deal damage onto. Okay, and that's the second point we have right here, and can actually do that. So we can just take this right here, which refers into a possible humanoid within our character model, our hit character model. So we can just perform this take damage onto it. And that's actually it for the damage dealing part. So we could now play this whole thing and see how this is going to look like. As you can see, let's go right here, receive some damage, and there we go. Okay. Yeah. That's actually it about the damage dealing part. We of course could add some sounds to it, which I would also recommend to do. And we might even add this animation I have added in my One Piece series. That's actually a cool idea. Let's actually do that. So animation, instance new, animation, inside of it obj. So I'm gonna explain this to you, do not worry. Okay, so I've just gathered this animation ID right here. It's for our hit animation, of course. And yeah, so that's all about the hit animation. The last thing I'm gonna do is, of course, the sound, and then I'm gonna explain every line, of course, after testing this whole stuff out. Let me just yeah, receive this hit sound. That hit. Let me actually disable the sound because I might have some copyright issues. Because some people, Roblox as well, just decide to upload music. Although I just want to look for something called combat, you know. So I'm just gonna disable my sound right here. So you're not able to hear it, but I am. Yeah. Nice music as always. Good job. Come on. Okay, so this is actually okay. So listen to it. We could pitch this up a little, so we could add some sound effects to it. Okay, does not sound that natural. I'm still gonna use it, so I'm gonna put it inside of the stand controller script, and then I'm gonna do the following. So script it clone as parent obj as play base at item s after 2 seconds. Okay, let's test this out and let's see how this works out. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me explain you what I've just done. So In this line right here, we are creating a new instance, which is an animation and which is being put inside of the hit person's character model, and we call this animation hit OBJ. So in this line, we are giving an animation ID to this animation. Of course, ROBLOX, a set ID whatsoever is always there, and then your animation ID you have to add to it. Do not add mine because that will not work. You need to have your own hit animation. If you do not have one, then completely get rid of this part. Okay, so the next part right here is supposed to load or to create the animation loader. So every character model with a humanoid is able to load an animation. So you just need to refer to the humanoid and then apply this load animation function and put the animation as an instance instead of those brackets. And then you can just play the loader. Okay? Then the animation is being played. Down here, so this part is about the sound. So down here, we are referring to the sound inside of the script. So script hit, and we are cloning it and we are putting it inside of the hit OBJ. So hit person's character model, and we are playing the sound. And after 2 seconds, the sound is just being destroyed. Okay, and we have added the spawn function right here. So formerly this was directly underneath this part, but it doesn't actually matter because this one runs in the background and waits until the animation right here is over. And when it is over, then the loader is being stopped and the animation is being destroyed. And this part right here is about the damage dealing. Anyway, okay. Alright, and that's actually it for the basic combat. We could now add some cooldown to our controls right here, because we actually need to do that. So, let me do that quickly. Local enable false. Okay, so let me explain you how this cooldown works. So we have this variable called enabled, and it is false by default. And in every check right here, we are basically checking for the key or the input and whether enabled is false. And if enabled is false, let's say we are having a first run. Okay, so we are clicking Q to activate the stand, and enabled is false. Okay, so we pass this check without any problems, and then enabled is true. Okay, so when enabled is true, and when you intend to, let's say, press Q again, then it will not work, because enabled is set to true, and you are not able to pass this check because enabled is true, okay? Because this check requires enabled to be false. So when are you able to pass this check again? As we've said, our first run, we have passed the check, we have passed this line, and then we have decided to press Q again, okay? It will not work, therefore the script will continue its way right here, okay? So it is passing this part right here, and then right here it is waiting for 1 second, and is turning enabled back to false, which allows you to press Q again and then pass the check and so on. So basically 1 second in between, in between enabled true and false. So it takes 1 second to make the enabled, or to set the enabled back to false after it has been pressed, or after a certain key has been pressed and enabled was set to true. Okay, so 1 second of cooldown time. Keep that in mind. So if you want to increase or decrease the cooldown, then always deal with this number right here. And we have the same method down here, okay? So I'm not gonna go into further detail on that. Okay. So as you can see, I'm not able to spam the buttons. Okay. Okay, yeah, so there's actually one last thing we need to take care of before we start with the punch barrage, and I do not think that we are going to start with that one in this video. So I'm gonna do this minor stuff and then I'm gonna end the video. Okay. So what do we have to do? Let me copy this thing. Let me put it inside of here. Let me see what happens. Okay. Nothing happens. So this tween is basically supposed to move the stand back, so back behind the player after the combat moves have been done, but as you can see, it does not happen. Oh yeah, it only does happen when you have hit someone. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so then let's move it out of here and let's put it inside of here. Let me decrease the wait time. Okay. Maybe we should increase it because okay. So that's actually it. Maybe the stand is still a little bit too fast. Well, I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. Maybe you will find a perfect solution for this problem. So this tween right here is basically the same as up here. Therefore, I'm not gonna explain anything to it. So check out the video in which I have created this line. Okay. So the tween is just basically supposed to put the stand behind the player after the stand attack animation has stopped. Okay, so that's the purpose of this line. Okay, and that's it for the video. So we have now successfully finished the basic stand combat right here. So we deal damage, we have a cool sound effect, and our stand goes back after it attacks. And yeah, that's very good. Okay. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you have liked it, then please leave a like, subscribe, share this video to all of your friends. Yeah, like this video, leave me feedback in the comment section, leave me stand ideas in the comment section, guys. Take care, see you in the next video, and sorry. So I'm very tired, but yeah, so there's nothing to do about it. Alright, take care, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.